Pashaparo, YNet7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. Big boy Pep for my peeps. Friday. Finally Friday. I'm tired. Hey, I hope you had a great week. Whew. Well, we had to take a moment of silence there, pause, right? All right, so couple things I need to go over. We all make mistakes, and I'm Virgo in me, perfectionist. So I'm really my own biggest critic, but I need to clear up something because I was going back, I was putting together this video, checking my numbers, and I was like, why doesn't this look right? And I had a typo, which led to me doing some math wrong the last video, and I just want to clear it up for you. So, couple things before we get started. You guys know from spending all this time with me, I'm a man of equations, not the variables. I don't like excuses. I don't make excuses. I just want to know the thought process. So I'm going to give you, when I check my notes, what my thought process was. I'm going to explain the discrepancy, and I'm going to tell you what was true, which was like 90% of it was true. I just have this one error that caused a couple discrepancies to follow due to math basically. But the outcomes and all were accurate. So that part didn't change. We'll start with that. This actually was the daily change that day. As far as going back to the I'm calling this the big play, right? With SENS and TRXC. TRXC. Yeah, I got a lot of. I do a bunch of stuff, man. I was working on a lot of stuff this week. Had a ton of meetings with project managements and stuff like that. And you know how you got the people that be checking the phone. I used to be one of them. You know, checking the phone. You're looking at Facebook and stuff. You know what I mean? Facebook be banning me, so I ain't got no. I deleted everybody anyway. So you guys know that stories from watching my other videos. They don't want you to tell too much ahead of time. So, and then you got groups that. Anyway, that's another subject. So, but I remember checking my phone, Facebook and stuff, and social media, and walking down the hall or something, right? On your way somewhere, you check your phone. I find myself now squeezing in a minute just to get a glimpse or a view or update or see if it's the right moment to execute on strategy. All right, so that's pretty much. So I had this picture of like the person on the phone, and then you see this. I forgot what I was watching, but then it's like, oh look, you wasting your time on social media or whatever because they saw him on their phone, and I was like, you know what, you gotta stop being so judgmental. That person could have been checking their stocks. You see what I'm saying? Instead of being on social media, but you don't know. So anyway, here we go. Let's go. So this was accurate. When I sold the stocks that I sold the following AM in the pre-market, it did boost it up almost $1,000. It was like 7,200 and some change. All of this was accurate because it was based off of the end of the day close numbers. So all of that's accurate. The part that I actually made the error on was here. If we go back to watch this video, right? I typed $1.86 when it should have been $2.86. Okay? And when I checked my notes, my thought process was it was holding when we come to here, right? It was holding a dollar. It was holding at 3.93, right? So I sold half the shares because that was a whole dollar times the 2,500 shares. So that was $2,500 on the table that I felt like I needed to get down, because if you look at the end towards that latter part of the day before, it was actually a peak there. It peaked in the opening of the pre-market about the same point in time before it dropped down, and that actual green circle there is like a little less than those two peaks. So the peaks were gradually coming down. So I sold at that point 3.93. So I set $1.86. I be coming home, man. I be throwing, like today I got pizza in the oven. It's done though. I took it out, put the garlic on there and the little onions and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's sitting there, it's resting right now, and the aroma is all in the air, and it's been a long. I'm gonna fuck that shit up out of this video. That's all you need to know, right? So basically what happens is every once in a blue moon, man, I be in a rush and I do something like this, and then I didn't catch it. So when I did my math, I did all my math for the card, not that it changed the strategy or the execution or anything, but I did all my math for the card based off the $1.86 when it should have been $2.86. So that threw off some of the numbers I shared with you. And these particular stocks weren't completely free. They were like $1. It was like $1,700 difference. So 1,000 shares, it makes like $1.70 each. So, okay. With that being said, the equation of what I did, as far as the execution to get here, sell it, hold on to the rest of them, that part still is accurate and true. The numbers was true. When I tried to figure out the precision in my mind of telling myself I got this amount of shares for free, my calculation was off, and that's the only difference. So everything else is true, but I messed up on the math here, which caused me to mess up on when I reported what I calculated to you guys. So now that that's all clear, now with SENS, that was absolutely all accurate. Like those shares were free because it did double. It was more than double. This one, I got $2,500 of the money down back because it was up $1 a share, and bam. All right, which is still close to basically. I got what? Let's see what that was. I got 250 shares for 1,700. Man, so I got all of them for $1.32 on average. All right. Then when they go up, and so here's where we're at now. Okay. Like I said, excuse the inaccuracy. I hate, you know what I'm saying? But the concept of what I said I was gonna do, we still executed. You can roast me in the comments for using the word free when they technically weren't free. That's fine, but we still executed. And here's how well it all worked out, right? Because, like I said, these numbers were good. That goal is still accurate. That difference is still accurate. And here's actually what we did today. So let's talk about how we got there. So let's see here. All right. So with the correction, like I said, we entered at 280, whatever. Got like 500 at 271. We sold off when we said we did. And then what I did today is the whole concept was we knew it was going to be a pullback. So we're waiting to see where it's going to rest at, right? And in anticipation that it's going to come back up. You know, it almost went to, it was plus $4. So what I kind of think in my mind at this moment, like back on the 21st, is it's going to fall, but we know where the high was yesterday. It's going to come back and retest that high. Now, I'm not a professional. As you can see, sometimes I can't even work a calculator right. Actually, that mistake was made before I even used the calculator. So you get where I'm going. Obviously, I'm no expert. But we do pretty well here. Big Board Pep. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Put some comments in there. Laugh. Put some laughs. Go ahead. Put some smiley faces, some laughs at my error. Ha ha ha. I'm with you. Okay. Cool. All right. So what we were able to do though is we were looking for the bottom. We saw the resistance level that it hit yesterday. And when I'm watching the price action from yesterday, you see my box. I didn't drag it all the way over. Like I said, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I had like 4 meetings today, 3 yesterday, and like 6 more since Monday. It's been a long week. That's on top of everything else I had to do. So, it's part of why I was really like trusting the process of my execution this week, because I knew I wasn't gonna have time to babysit it, and it actually worked out great. Watch, I'm gonna get to it. So we looking for the floor. What the new floor is gonna be? I call it the floor. I don't know what you call it. So I didn't drag the yellow box over there extend it, but you see where the top and bottom of that is. We kind of yesterday hit that right where the yellow meet the green down there at the bottom. So I'm watching it, came back up, and then it flattened out and went into the next day. So it dropped a little bit, and I was watching it. I did some little quick analysis real quick, and I felt like at that point in time it was 310. I think 310. I think that's what. Yeah, 310. So I was all right with this one. I just bought 800 more shares at 310. So I had the ones that I kept, the 1,000, that were relatively cheap in comparison to what I bought them. And I took and acquired 800 more, right? So now if we do, I think it was 1720 total was the difference. And divided by 1,800, we're in them for 95 cents each. Okay, not bad. So that's actually not right. Hold on, it's 4,000. We're in them for $1.70, approximately $1.70 each. All right, 800 at 310. Then it went flat, kind of bounced a little bit all day, but then we caught the break, because at the end of the day, we got a nice rise up to at one point almost 380-ish, right? And it looked like it closed. I think it closed at 364. Okay, so we added 800 more shares at 310, and we got a nice pop out of the day with that. I don't have an update because you know me, when it falls out of my prediction line. I mean, this is only like a day or two after it, so we knew it was gonna drop. I'm actually anticipating it returning, which it did come back above this bottom blue line here right before close. So I'm anticipating it getting back into one of those two tangents and continue in that direction, at least. So it looks like it's moving that way now. We'll see what happens next week. But yeah, we were able to add 800 more shares for 310, catching the bottom of that play. All right. Now looking at SENS, which was all that information was totally accurate. I know I'm my own worst critic. So cool. I don't know how I'll be rushing. Like now, I'm rushing a little bit now because I'm going to fuck that pizza up. I'm going to chill. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew this. I got about 10 to 15 more stocks that I was just hoping nothing crazy happened between Wednesday and Friday, so we could make it to the weekend and I could have time to really sit down and dissect all of those. And I may have one or two more picks for you, because I thought this little transition was gonna be a lot rougher than it was. You know, when it started dropping everything, like I don't really feel like I lost any money, but I did drop like $300 and something total. And I was like, oh, that wasn't bad with it. And I forgot that I actually had a play yesterday on ADTX. I just happened to catch it on this climb, on this spike, and I hit it for a couple hundred shares and put a 11% stop loss, trailing stop loss on it, and it went to like $6 and something, and then it tripped my stop loss at $5.90, so I was out. So that was about $330, which means bam, made gold for the day with that one play, and it offset some of what would have been the depreciation of all of this pullback between SENS and TRXC. So I wound up being only down for the day like $300 and something or so. Total. But in reality, we know this I wouldn't really count these stocks, but we're gonna do it, so it kind of offset each other. Well, it would have been double, but that play on ADTX kind of like put it in half, so it wasn't as bad. And then today we come back and I picked up like 100 shares of Bingo at 905, just because I was looking Bingo. I was gonna not be fooling with Bingo, but we all saw the announcement for the offering. I was thinking it might go closer to $6, and when I saw it recovering in the pre-market, I expected a little rally, and I grabbed 100 shares of that. So we made like $100 there. What else? RGLS had a little bit of movement, so made like a few bucks there. And then the rest of it, like there might have been like $200 or $300 of this might have been random stuff that we talked about, and I just happened to be having a little bit or grabbed a little bit. And the rest of it was all profit from SENS and TRXC, which, you know, one of them didn't really move too much during the day. So TRXC is really where the bulk of this came from today. So with this, you know, we sold it at like whatever that was. This is one of them days, people. But I can tell you this. The exciting part was we caught this one at like the very bottom, and I bought another 1,000 shares at $2 flat, $2 even. And this one came back up, and from there, it's still down for the day in comparison for yesterday, the stock itself. But I bought for $2 in the pre-market. It came up, it went flat, and then it took a little hop up, and then after hours, it's up like another, 20-30 cent or so for right now. We'll see what happens with that. Now, the anticipation is for both of these over time to keep going up, so it was nice to execute this properly, where I was able to sell when I did sell, and then catch a buy-in at like a 20% discount, 30% discount, and acquire some more shares. So now that when it goes to $10, you know, this number will actually be even higher. And if we're talking total value, it's going to be a good day. So that's the update. Yeah, I was off in my math by like $2,000 because I bought 2,000 shares and I hit $1 instead of $2.86. So that threw all that off a little bit. But when you look at the whole execution, I think you'll appreciate the move. I think you'll still appreciate it worked, and as far as I'm concerned, it worked flawlessly. And we're in a great position right now based off of that. So let's stay tuned for this weekend. I'll have some videos for you on some other stocks, and we'll go from there. Thank you for tuning. Pasha Faro, Big Board Pep, for my peeps.